Hey guys, so for this video, I want to talk about stocks that somehow will do better during this whole coronavirus pandemic, plus whatever's happening on the lockdown. Because I got so many questions from all of you asking, which stock will benefit the most from all of this? Which stock will or which company will earn more, or which will be the most affected? So for this series, I want to talk about who among the stocks or at least slash businesses will do well. Because at the end of the day, if you know the business, you know the sector, you know the context of who will possibly earn more or what sector will possibly earn more, then you have a shot, you have a chance to know which companies and which stocks you could position to. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to drill also at the end of this which are those stocks as well. I'm going to give some examples from both Philippine and US contexts as well, because you all know this is a global pandemic, and stocks that will survive this, or companies that will survive this, it's not just about companies in the Philippines, but it's also about companies outside the Philippines as well. And as you all know, you can also invest outside the Philippines. So this video also, by the way, is for pretty much long-term investors. When I say long-term investors, your goal basically is to invest and be a part owner of a company. That your goal is to be part of the long-term appreciation of the company, and you come in looking at it from a business perspective. It's not you looking at it as a trader. So please remember, it's a different mindset when you are a trader. It's a different mindset if you're an investor. So if you're a trader, this video is not for you. This video is basically for people who are investors, but not just investors. Their time frame in the market is very, very long. If you are a trader though, you can go through our playlist. We have a stocks by request playlist. A lot of that normally, are stocks that are that we would analyze based on current price movement. So the newer stocks that we have are the ones that based on today or yesterday or a couple of days price actions and trading on it from support and resistance. So you can just reference it from there. This is basically a video for, as what I mentioned, long-term investors. By the way, if you're new to this, super appreciated if you can subscribe. We're very, very close. We currently have 99,600 subscribers, 400 left before we hit 100,000 silver silver play button for YouTube. So it's an honor to be part of that group of Filipinos that has hit 100,000 subscribers. I think there's over 1,000 plus in the Philippines as well. So it's it's just fun to be able to do something and see the videos impact the lives of a lot of people. So if you're new to this, super appreciate it if you can subscribe and hit the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing and about the market. By the way, I forgot to mention this. I have two channels now. The second one, I didn't include it in the slides, but it's in the description below. You can just click it so you get led to, it's called Stock Investing Made Easy. It's all about infographics. So if you're new and want to learn more about that, then that channel is for you as well. So as I mentioned, this video is talking about lockdown stocks. The whole context of this is the coronavirus. Please remember, uh, all of this is happening just because of this that started in Wuhan, China. And just to give you a general backdrop of why what led me to this is number one, we as of this day, as of this point in time, April 15, 2020, there's still no cure. There's still no vaccine. That alone is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people are so scared of this. Please remember also that one of the biggest people that age groups that get hit are relatively the older ones. So people like you and me, those that are watching this, majority of you guys are my age. We will survive this. We will be okay, but we could be carriers as well. And what makes this scary is you could be a carrier, you could you could hurt a lot of people, and there's no cure yet for that. That being said, that's what's causing the lockdown. That's what's causing establishments to be closed. That's what's causing events to be closed. That's what's causing a lot of hotels, chains, airlines to just shut down their operations as well. And above and beyond that, we already have breached 2 million infected cases. I think it was just a few weeks ago that we hit a million, and just a few weeks after, we're now at the 2 million mark. And I don't know, no, we don't have any clear indications yet that there's really a flattening. In some areas, we've seen a flattening of the growth curve, but the fear is there's a second or third wave, because please remember, when people start laxing those initiatives, those lockdown, everyone goes back to normal. Since there's a lot of people that's asymptomatic, you don't know who are the ones that are possibly carrying it. That being said, the whole context also of this is because of this, and this, we are now sitting at a new normal. When I say a new normal, you can expect this over the course of the next few months, and I don't know how long it will be. It will be normal for people to wear masks. It will be normal for people to cover themselves up. It will be normal for people to wear gloves. The term social distancing would be normal. Wearing protective gear, uh, distancing yourself to a lot of people would be the norm. You would also see enhanced sanitation everywhere you go. Everything will be tried to be clean. And in context of before, restaurants, food establishments, ano yan, no gloves, no masks, etc. But because of this, it's now changing even the entire food and beverage industry, that you cannot prepare your food without masks. You cannot prepare your food without gloves. You need to wash your hands. That will be the new norm. Before, no one you would see a lot of people go to the restroom and not even wash their hands. But now it's now becoming a new norm. That's why already saw weeks before this alcohol out of stock, vitamins out of stock, masks are all out of stock. Anything that could protect people, because a lot of people are working in fear. And because of this, you have to note that retail shops are also closed. And you have to get the context. I said this in so many videos that since all of these retail shops are closed, it means that as long as there's social distancing, how can people dine in? How can people uh, sit together in malls, in restaurants, if anyone could be a carrier? So you have to take that into consideration. That until there's a cure for this, the new normal is you will see a lot of the retail chains closed. And above and beyond that, and part of that as well is, of course, social distancing. There will be no mass gatherings, and this has a big impact on everything: churches, concerts, events, expos, weddings. So, literally, me saying all of this, the whole economy, with exception to some of the bare essentials, is pretty much on shutdown. Meaning also, you don't have the economy working. Meaning, even for those of you like me that are NBA fans, you can't watch basketball, and they're still uncertain on how basketball games would be played, because you don't know who's sick. You don't know how it easily can get transmitted as well. So because of that, there's no mass gatherings. And part of the new normal that I'm saying, aside from social distancing, sanitation, retail shops being closed, no mass gatherings, you've seen this, and I'm sure you know this already. Even the videos that you've been watching in my channel, all of them are pretty much via Zoom. All of them are pretty much video conferencing apps, that because we cannot see each other, the best way for people to communicate, the best way for people to talk, is just basically via the internet. So imagine if this virus came in 30 years ago, then it would be much harder for people to communicate altogether. And part of that also is people's consumer behavior. And all of this, please remember, will tie up to the companies that I'll mention earlier. Why? Because people's money right now will primarily be focused on this: essentials, food. For some, it's not even the luxurious food. It's food that they need to get by. It's food that they need nourishment. It's food, it's not anymore dining out in restaurants. It's just, what food can I buy that I can take home, that I can actually eat? Meaning, the person that would have bought a car might skimp off on that, because he's just focusing his finances on food. The same way for people who want to buy houses. The same way for people who want to buy expensive clothes, watches, perfumes, etc. Disposable income will be shifted towards food, or on top of that disposable income, instead of being spent, will be used and kept as cash. as a protection, as a hedge because of this uncertainty. People don't know what's going to happen. Since people don't know what's going to happen, they might just store cash. So again, people's spending behavior are shifting instead of focusing primarily on other non-essentials. Instead of buying a PS2, instead of buying an Xbox, instead of buying a new camera, the shift will go to food. And above and beyond that, part of the new normal, since I mentioned no mass gatherings, retail shops are closed, you will see a lot of deliveries. And when I say deliveries, everything: groceries, uh, hardware items, department store items, uh, everything that can be delivered on top of the internet, anything that you can order. That's why the logistics industry right now, especially for essential items, is pretty much bustling. The ones that are selling non-essential items, I guess they're the ones that will be hit the most. But that's how you can segment it. Deliveries will be very, very well. Grab is still functioning, Lala Move is still functioning, and the other courier services are also functioning. That being said, who are the companies that will benefit overall? We are at the 11-minute mark. I hope that you guys are staying. Comment below if this is something that's beneficial to you. Comment below if you're liking this or learning so much from all of it. And above and beyond that as well, uh, I don't know, just if this adds value to you, super appreciate it if you could like it and share it to a lot of your friends, because I really want more and more Filipinos to be educated on this stuff. And I hope that this is something that's exciting for all of you, because this is something that's very, very important as well. Anyways, back to the topic. Companies that will benefit overall from this also doesn't mean though that their stocks won't go down. It doesn't mean that they're exempted from the volatility. It doesn't also mean that they won't get any profit taking later on. But from a fundamental aspect, because of all of the conditions that I've mentioned on top of this, there's a very, very big chance that these companies are making money or will make more money or will continue to make money. And you just follow. And if you've been following my style, for those who read my books or attended the seminars, you know my style is I follow where the global cash flow is. So if you know where the global cash flow is, you're following where the money is. I really believe that based on what's happening, this is where the money's headed. Number one is pharma companies. As you all know, vitamins, medicine, and especially medicine geared uh, towards treating this illness is something that will do very, 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 very well. I'll make a video, separate video, on which, because there's so many ways to look at a company that's developing the vaccine for this, a company that's developing the cure for this, or something that could prevent it, may emerge as one of the companies that will make money off of this, or at least companies that can cure pneumonia, companies that give you vitamins, and things like that will do very, very well. On top of that, as well, aside from the pharma companies, of course, where do you buy them? The drugstores. And if you look at it from a Philippine setting, the drugstores that we have is Mercury Drugstore. It's not listed, but you're a franchise owner, then I don't know if they're even franchising, but if you're a franchise owner, then good for you. Then Robinson's Retail Holdings has a couple of drugstores. Then you have Watson, which is also part of uh, the SM group. Then you have a lot of other independent drugstores as well. So the play for drugstores basically is either you own it, you franchise it, you have your own brand, you have a generic store, or you invest in the companies, the conglomerates that brought those companies here. So etc. And for me, the one of the easiest and the one thing that I've been advocating for the longest time, I really believe this over and over, is basically apps that are maximizing the internet. Since we're all at home, everyone's just using the internet to transact, to entertain themselves, to learn, to do things. Everything that they need for them to function properly, they do it via the internet. And here are some examples. And as you all know, I'm a big fan of investing also outside the Philippines because it allows you to diversify. But above and beyond allowing it to diversify, it gives you the ability to earn via tech companies, because majority of the tech companies are in Nasdaq. Majority of the tech companies are in the States. So one of them is Amazon. If you see it here, of course, no one was immune to the drop. It dropped, but after, boom. For those who follow my stocks by request, for those who follow my technical analysis videos, it broke past all of the moving average and even broke past the previous high. So you're actually seeing Amazon more bullish than ever. That's how you know that a lot of people are anticipating that, hey, Amazon is taking advantage of it. But what's Amazon? Amazon is another computer company, another IT company that's developing apps, that's developing platforms, that's developing whatever it is. It could be e-commerce platforms that are on top of the internet that allow people to transact. And from a very very practical standpoint, especially if you're in the States, how do you order your parcels? How do you order your stuff? Amazon. So second one is you can also look at Zoom. Most of the videos that I've been posting via YouTube is via Zoom. So as you can see, everything that we're doing now is via Zoom. As you all know, since I said the new normal is video conferencing, apps that allow you to communicate via the internet will make money. And aside from Zoom, you have Skype, but Skype really it allows you to record, but it's still Zoom. I think is still in terms of quality, in terms of what gives you a better output. Zoom is one of the best out there as well. Skype is owned by Microsoft, so if you want to know what stock gets impacted by it, so it's basically Microsoft. So you have Amazon, again, an app on top of the internet. Then you have Zoom, another app on top of the internet. Then you also have Netflix. It's obvious. A lot of you guys, since we were in lockdown the past month, have been watching Netflix like crazy. Comment below for those who've been watching the Korean novellas, who've been watching Crash Landing on You. My wife has been watching all of those over and over and over, and all of those are Netflix. She even asked me to watch what's this the Kingdom, which was a zombie. I don't know if you watched it, but it's like a zombie Korean novella thing as well. But all of that is also on top of Netflix. So more people staying at home, you can expect that more people will be subscribed to Netflix. More people will be using their services as well. So Amazon, Zoom, Netflix, again, apps that allow you to transact, allow you to do stuff over the internet. So you may be asking, how can you invest outside the country? You can just go here. I have a playlist called Investing in Global Stocks. We have a bunch of videos there that talk about how you can actually do it. You can start with this video. It says how to invest in US stocks for only $50. So you can start off with that as well. So here's what's interesting. When I mentioned that companies that will make money on top of that are apps maximizing the internet, for those to be able to run, telecom companies. Please remember, telecom companies literally are not just anymore just your normal call and text. They're basically data companies. And in the Philippines, Globe. Please remember, a large chunk of the money that comes from Globe is from retail data. And as you notice it, again, as what I've mentioned, no one is immune to the drop. But after that, boom, Globe even broke out and became bullish with momentum. Look at the 20-day moving average, and it broke past this, and it's pushing towards the higher portion also of its range. And that's what's so interesting about it. It shows you the evidence of how profitable they are. Please remember, they increased their dividends also. At the start of the year, the first half of the year, their dividends was higher already than the first half of 2018 or 2019. And if I mentioned Globe, PLDT is also part of it. If you look at PLDT, intraday I saw it when the markets got sold down, it went about around 800 plus. But now, if you look at it as well, similar to Globe, it broke past the 200-day moving average, and it's pretty much bullish right now. So again, that's how telecom companies will crush it. Telecom companies will be one of the biggest recipients because we're all at home, we're all maximizing data, we're all using data, similar to how you're watching this YouTube video. It's also via data. Okay, next. Are you guys learning? Please comment below if you're learning and if you like this kind of format, because as you've been seeing, I've been trying to experiment a lot on the content that I've been using. There's just purely stocks by request, and there's types that I interview people. There's just me also sharing my thoughts, and there's things like this where it's like a webinar format as well. So if you do, super appreciate it if you could put a thumbs up, a like into this video, or you can just put your comment below on if this is something that's helping you as well. So I mentioned on the top of this video that people's spending behavior will pretty much go to their essentials. They will focus on things that are more important as well. But above and beyond that, if we, as you're looking at the essentials, one of the biggest recipients about that is supermarkets. And when I say supermarkets, supermarkets slash essentials, similar to what you saw in Pure Gold. Pure Gold intraday, I saw it also in the large drop, went around 27 pesos per share intraday when there was a huge sell down. But after that, if you notice it, it looks similar also to the chart of PLDT. It looks similar also to the chart of Globe, that it pretty much broke out. It pushed much higher than where it was before. So aside from that, also you can look at URC. I think the biggest issue though of URC is that since we are on a lockdown, a lot of the stuff that the raw materials that they need, or at least logistics that will allow them to transport stuff from A to B for them to be able to manufacture properly, are a bit hampered. So even if there's a larger demand for like coffee, as you all know, coffee is one of their most saleable product, one of their top grossing product. Uh, it's flying off the shelves, but if they don't have the means to be able to manufacture and produce a lot, then they won't be able to capitalize on this opportunity. But all of their products are things that people can store, and I think that's one thing that people would buy. What are stuff that when I buy it I could store it because I don't know how long the lockdown will go? What are stuff that I could buy I could store because I don't want to buy a lot of fish, because if I buy a lot of fish I can't consume them over a period of time, very quick. And ganun din, it's household staples and snacks that people normally buy as well. And another one from the US markets, you can put Johnson and Johnson on top of it. Again, essentials with brands as well. So I think these are companies that will maximize, that will earn over this period of time, over this new normal that we're experiencing. But if you want companies also that are somehow no immune to this, but will still earn, you can add this to the mix. You can add utility companies. So utility companies, as you all know, will still earn because people will pay for their bills. But though, again, as you all know, also the government said that if they can be more lenient, because yeah, we also have to understand that there will be some businesses, there will be some jobs, there will be some uh, people who won't have earnings. So I think they're extending these bills up until the lockdown period ends, so that people could still have a way to be able to pay it, but they will still pay for it. So this is how Meralco looks like. As you can see, it hasn't fully reversed yet, similar to Globe, Pure Gold, and PLDT, but it's starting to push up. The dividend yield for Meralco when it dropped now was very interesting. I think it was around 6%. And if you can take the political uncertainty, you can also take the risk that because Razon already bought portions of Manila Water, then the risk that uh, Manila Water's franchise will be cancelled and it has a shot to be renewed, or to, at least it will be continued. That concern is out already. Then you can buy Manila Water as well. By the way, for those who like charts, you're seeing Manila Water develop a higher low already at this area. So this is like a bullish pattern. Let's just see if it can break past this level and break past this level to see if it's something that's very effective for it for at least a longer term reversal. But this is what I believe. Meralco, Manila Water, utilities, they're very essential. People will pay for them first. People will pay for them above and beyond other items, other above and beyond other luxuries that they would normally spend on when the economy is good, or when there's no fear, when there's no uncertainty. But this too, basically the staples, that's what they're gonna invest on, spend on. Since they're gonna be money's gonna be spent on them, they're gonna make money as well. So last, just to end, no, did you guys get a lot from this? Did you guys learn? Is this something that has benefited you? Is this something that, uh, well, all of this has been happening, you got something? Comment below if you did, and super appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, a like, and if you could subscribe to both of my channels. And I have 5 books where you can order. It's all about the stock market and all about investing. The links are down below for you to be able to grab a copy. We deliver to any part of the Philippines and some portions of the world. Then we also have a stock market course with Chinkitan, Shansi. Links are in the description below. And there, we're very close to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. From the bottom of my heart, I'm gonna do as much as I can to give you as much value as possible, and I really do hope that this channel makes a difference in your lives as well. So I guess that's it for now. If there's any videos, by the way, that I'd like to recommend for you to watch. We have this, and this. Max, JFC, URC, MPI, GT Capital, parts of our stocks by request. Then we also have Maricar Reyes Poon, the owner of Maricar, Maricar Cakes. She shares her own story. Then we're gonna talk. I also have a video about 1 million pesos in Pag-ibig MP2. Then another video from someone who lost a lot of money from the 1997 Asian financial crash. So I have so many videos that you can watch during this lockdown period. And I just really do hope that this is something that will help you. This is something that will push you. This is something that will take you closer and closer towards whatever your dreams are as well. And you have two videos here also that will pop up that you can also watch. And I hope this video itself helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.